Welcome everybody to an episode 3 of Sorare Summit podcast. My name is Yasz and I'm joined with my good friend Adit. How are you doing, Adit?
Yo, how are you guys doing? How was your week this week in Sorare?
Yep, I hope everyone had a good week. I hope everyone had fun, more fun than we did, I guess.
Hmm.
So we'll talk a little bit about that. So we're gonna run through a few things today. And we're gonna, I think, first just talk a little bit about our performance. So, okay, before that, apologies for last week. I had something on. I just kind of started a little bit of a new role within my workplace, so things are a bit crazy. I'm also fasting, so yeah, I had to miss last week, so I apologize for that. But gonna come stronger this week. Got a lot more to update on. Um, and a lot of big changes within my gallery. I'm sure with the same you. But the only thing that hasn't changed, right, Adit, the fact that you're still beating me in every 220 game week, man. What's going on there?
This is the power of good scouting, especially for cheap players. As I said, that's how you will win prizes, right? Scouting good players, and it's benefiting me right now.
That's nice. That's nice. So technically, I've lost 3 times in a row already. Although I have to admit that I'm getting better at it because this third one was a very very close loss. Like it
True.
was pretty much like neck
Four
and neck,
points,
I
I
would
think.
say. 4 points, right? So maybe we'll just kind of look through your 220 team
Sure.
and show everybody, man, like how well you did. Hold on, let me just. Oh, I thought I had it in my screen
No way.
somewhere.
No way.
220. Okay, let me just share the screen.
Sure.
So yeah, man. So I did, man. How was it, man? And were you happy with it? Like, was it?
Honestly, it's a bit of both because my keeper was on 57 points until the 90th minute. So now he's dropped to 34 as kind of a killer. And I would have got a tier 5 just because, but he conceded his third goal and he got sweeper keeper. So that's why his points went up to 57. And then just because he
Uh,
conceded a third goal, it crushed everything. I was happy and sad at the same time. I was like, I beat you, but I also could have won a prize. So it was like, trying to manage an expectation there.
cool. And yeah, so what else, man? Who was the main guy, for this team?
I think my main guy was Paul McGinn because I saw they were coming up against the last team. So obviously I was hoping for slightly more, but despite conceding, he scored 60 points. So I can't be happier, honestly. And they lost the game, and not even one goal, 2 goals, by the way. And he still scored 60, so it's solid. So he
Yeah,
got a lot of AA. And I can be happy about that. And I think just because of his AA, it also helped me bump me again to beat you. So I'm delighted with that. Sorry, I have to uh, poke this
rub
fact
it
in
in.
that I beat you.
It's okay. I heard that you wanted to poke the fat in or the fact in.
Nah. I want a fact. FACT. I'm not no fat.
Okay, let me show you guys my team. So for my team, I didn't do bad. Honestly, I don't think I did too badly. Right? It's not it's not the best, but it's not. It was pretty close. I think it's probably one of my better, more I would say more competitive
Yep.
220 matches we've had. I and I think if we were to base it on, I was thinking also, right, maybe next week, right, we should base it on points but also on profit. Because if we base it on profit, I'll probably beat you because Mike Erdun, whatever his name is in definite profit right now, and he's really good. He's actually now going to be is I'm going to play my under 23 this week because I think Sparta go as actually a decent lineup against
Yep.
FC20. So this guy actually had I think clearance of the line, and yeah, really good AAs. Another good player is this really young player, Matche Holt, which I have no idea. Definitely butchering his name. Yeah, he did really well too, and they were playing the same match as your Juninho, right?
Yes.
And and these are all A points as a
Exactly.
DM. So and he's 21 years old. The only thing is that Albok is very close to relegation, but I
Correct.
might just keep him because you never know, right? He might go to another team because he's very young and he's performing very well. The two players that didn't know. So Fabian Close was pretty unlucky. His team scored 2 goals, but he was not part of anything. He get decent AA though. I mean, for him, he usually doesn't actually have any AAs whatsoever, but yet pretty decent AA for this match. But this was a tale of two halves. I watched the match. Amina Bindfield was like leading 2-0 and then they lost 4-2 or some shit like that, which is pretty crazy. Right. And then last but not least, Broderick, I expected more for him. It's funny because if you look at the game scores, right, he's a defender, but he plays left mid, and
Yeah.
then on the right mid, there's another player who's also a right back but plays right mid, and he scored like 70 points all
Oh
AA.
God, that's
So
the
which
worst.
means that it was just him, losing a lot of possession,
Yeah.
losing the ability to actually, hold the ball well. And then Mr. Blaswich, my goalkeeper. Red Bull, I know he is a bit hit or miss. Red Bull do win matches, but they concede goals all the time. So because of that, I lost my 4 points. If any one of these yellow guys just got a little bit more, you'd probably be either in the rewards or, like you said, man, just do well. So yeah, so that's basically my cap to 20. But overall, Adit, how was your game week, man? Was it something that you were happy?
I think I can be happy about it because I won a reward, which I got a tier 4. So I'm happy about that. But there are also some results where I was hoping, like my All Star, if I got one decisive somewhere or the other, I would have got it. But
Mm,
this is how it is sometimes. You just like, I think if I got Aiden Morris, if he got just one decisive, I think it would have somehow pushed it up. And
agreed,
you
agreed.
were talking about the game 4-2. Neville, he was the only one who didn't do anything.
Yeah,
He got
yeah.
52 but he didn't do anything. It was frustrating because my Kaufman scored and all the other wingers scored except him. I was like, usually you're the one who scores the most, and then he didn't. I was like, come on, guys, simple things
Nice,
here.
nice, nice. And then you get KVV score also, right? Which is good for you.
Yes.
So other than the All Star, what was your low points of
Oh,
this?
the 240 was horrific. I say
Oh, really?
horrific. Yeah, my goalkeeper scored like literally 18 or 20 points. I had a DNP, so it was just going downhill. As soon as I saw Alaba DNP, I was like, it's done. There's no going up from here. So I was screwed.
Okay, okay. Okay, cool. So you won on America, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, the old man scored almost 100.
Just because of his extra bonus, I got 100 points. But yeah, he was solid, and he's getting a lot of points. I'm actually quite surprised.
Nice. And I see that you also got the Leandro Gonzalez Perez, which I just also added to my that one. And I also got Herrera Rare. I just bought Herrera Rare into my team.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice, nice. Gonzalez Perez, I got for $2.85. He's selling for 17. I'm so tempted to
nice,
just drop him now, but I got a
nice.
hold.
The issue with River Plate is the rotation. Like this week, they had a match midweek. I
Yeah,
did not actually play him because I was just very afraid that they would not play. But yeah, man, very good scores for champ. So cool. I'll share with everyone my results. So for me, I won a tier three. I think where did I won my tier three? I won tier three. I cleared my threshold with this team. Yeah, Bowman, man. Bowman's looking like a baller, man. Oh my god! And I haven't rare, I haven't limited, which is nice. Everybody else was pretty okay. It's just that I had a goal, even though in a 5-1 loss, Yuma Suzuki had good AAs and he just got the only goal in that thrashing against Kobe, which is good because the team that got me my reward was actually the Kobe stack again, man. So this is the Kobe stack. So Park Yu again, another amazing performance, just pure AA. This guy is starting to look like a very, very, very good goalkeeper. Surprisingly, Yamakawa was the only disappointment because of that conceded goal. Kim Jong Woo, oh my god, this guy, man. I think I bought him for less than $10. Now he's going for 30 $40. Uh, and I got him on a trade, right? And this guy is an AA monster, man. Every match, 40, 50 points, AA, easy. Doesn't need to score a goal. They can concede goals, doesn't really matter. I don't know why. I don't know who this guy is. I just bought him because he had two good games, and now he's like this is the fifth game I've had him now. So it's really, really good. Mitsuki Saito also from the Kobe Stacks had an assist, and Osako had a really good game. But too bad he got subbed out pretty early in the game. No, he could probably score more. So my Vissel Kobe stack once again doing bits. And I haven't told you this, but I'm actually going to watch Vissel Kobe match on the 13th of May uh, in Japan because I have a trip to Japan coming up. So I'm
oh,
planning to
lucky.
actually spend a day trip. You can come if you want. Spend a trip if you can make that. If you can make that, you can take. If you can get the flight and the lodging, I'll pay for your tickets and your bullet
Oof.
train to Kobe. Okay.
Tempting, but I have exams during that time, so it's an impossible task here.
Exams. Sounds so ancient, this concept of exams to me. As a 40-year-old, I have no idea what the exams are. Anyways. Okay. So yeah, so like for me, yeah, I'll be watching. I can't wait for it. Because I have a friend who lives in she lives in Korea. So she's one of my ex-colleagues. So definitely she's gonna sort out tickets for me, and maybe my brother-in-law might follow. So very, very
Oh,
excited for that.
nice,
So
nice.
so yeah, so we have, because I've worked in during Thursday and Friday. So I'm just gonna spend Saturday in
Work,
Korea, and then no, no,
work.
real work, dude. Real work.
Oh,
I have
okay,
to.
okay. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
you.
yeah. Real work. No, 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 real work, dude. Yeah, we
I
need
thought your
funds, man.
scouting was work here, so that's
No,
why.
no, 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 no. I'm only going because I have the extra, extra, because I'm there. Um,
Exactly.
so what else? Okay, what there was some like really close calls. I think this was. I will talk a little bit about this, but this was a pretty close call. I had three really good players, and then one my captain did not come did not. So as can someone might know who my my sinner of the week might be. One, that's definitely a candidate right there. Um, so yeah, man, overall decent, right? I was just very unhappy I did not hit threshold. This was probably one of my worst performance for threshold, right? So
Oh.
I hit threshold 2 weeks in a row. Third week did not hit, but Xiao Minu still, man, perfect threshold player. Only $50, guys, less than €50 for him. So, but I just couldn't get everybody else to be on the same page.
Sometimes
And
it,
this
it
was sad.
works for you.
No, this is so sad though, because the one goal that he considered was a stupid goal. If not, it'd be like a 60 points. And even
Oh.
then also I probably don't think it'd be enough, but it would have gotten closer. I think the one that really disappointed me was Kaneko. Kaneko usually gets good scores. He did not get a good score today. He got trashed by Ugawa. And yeah, and I think that's about, I mean, everything else. I got Kunenes, did really well. So yeah, I think that's about it though. So, and of course my Newcastle stack, even though I'm proudly wearing my Newcastle jersey, we got hammered by the villains. That was so painful, man.
Watkins
Anyway,
was on
on
fire.
fire, man. Totally on fire. So, anyways, yeah. Okay, so that's about it. There's no results or giveaway because we did give away a card already, which was the Burgers card. I will be giving away another card. I think it'll be the Korean defender Hong Jong Un. I'll put details on it on our Instagram, on our Twitter. We don't have an Instagram yet, so on our Twitter, and then yeah, and then the details of how to actually kind of join in will be there. So thank you so much for everyone who's joined so far. A lot of great interactions, a lot of great engagement. So let's talk a bit about Sorare news, dude. So we can start with our first topic, which is Mr. Powell Trader, man. Have you seen
Uh,
that Powell Trader t-shirt?
yeah,
Tell me
I
about it.
saw.
It's not.
It's
They don't ship internationally, man.
exactly.
So
Imagine.
so very much. If you ship internationally, we got two buyers right here. The Power Trader has rejected your offer, which I think is an amazing t-shirt. Anyway, Mr. Power Trader has been very, very active again on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's been pretty spicy, man. Like a little bit spicy, man. The guy, like he's been saying a lot of like really tongue-in-cheek
Interesting,
things.
controversial stuff.
Yeah.
But
So he's like
I kind of
complaining.
get what he's coming, where he's coming from sometimes.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, the guy is a $2 million gallery, and he's telling us
Exactly.
that he doesn't have enough to buy a Porsche. Like, dude, chill, man. You have a $2 million gallery, man. Let's sell some players, man. Sell some of your uniques.
Exactly.
So just to kind of share with everyone some interesting tidbit that we've seen from Mr. Power, right? So as you can see, right, he's talked a little bit about him. He actually was scolding a customer who was trying to sell him a lot of these like 50-cent cards, 40-cent cards, or 60-cent cards, right? That no one wants to buy. Then there's another one where he actually kind of highlighted Queenie and John Ellis wearing the jersey. Yeah, and then he spoke a little bit about what we're gonna talk about, man. So okay, so before we go on to this, like, I mean, Power Trader has always been some sort of an enigma within the Sorare, I guess, Sorare field, the Sorare economy. What do you think about him, being a little bit more vocal, saying the things that he is? I mean, is it something that we feel that he should say, or he should just keep quiet? What do you think, man?
Honestly, I think it was going to happen. Everyone talks a lot about him in a negative way on Sorare because recently his demands for trades have been a bit higher than usual, which even
Yep.
I've had to adjust to. But if if you want to trade super low price players, you're bound to get into this because he also needs to make money. Like all of us, we all want to make a profit. He To sell some of the cards is virtually impossible. So I get where he's coming from, and honestly, some people will take it negatively how he said some stuff, but I think it was fully warranted. You can't just talk bad about someone and then expect them not to say anything. You poke the bear, it's gonna bite you. Simple as that.
Totally true, though. And I find that, I mean, he's the market maker. I mean, we has to his wants and needs, right? If he doesn't want a certain player in your club, he has every right to say that I'm not going to take it. Yes, he might put there saying that 120% or whatever. I mean, that's based on whatever that he wants. If he doesn't, he doesn't, right? And I think people forget that eventually that he's not running a charity. This is very much a business for him, probably his only business. So his main business in life that maybe he supports his family or the people around him. So I think it's pretty important that we have. I mean, there is that come understanding. But to me, the way to beat Powell, right, is to scout players, right? We good doing that, right? Like
Yep.
Aiden Morris, I got Aiden Morris in the trade, and at that point in time, I value Aiden Morris at what, $8-10.
Yep.
I mean, if I pull back the trade right now, I've actually won on that trade compared to him. Whatever I traded to him have actually gone down in value, and then whatever I managed to has actually gone up. So I think that's one thing that you gotta kind of put into context, right? Sell the players. So this is one way to exit players that you feel are just on the downtrend, because you're not gonna get it right all the time. There's gonna be players where you're gonna make mistakes on, right? So this is that opportunity. Yes, you're gonna sell him for a loss, but you can make it back by scouting a player that's on the come up, right? And yeah, I think that's how I've always kind of managed to at least balance my books in some form of way. But I like it though. I like him talking. I like him having a bit of the enigma. At least is kind of dropped down a little bit, and I
Yep.
think it's pretty fun, man, to see him just shitting on people, man.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
as if you're offering him something, you can't expect him just to accept just because you're
exactly.
offering it.
Exactly. So another thing that happened this week and also includes Mr. Powell is that Sorare had the Erling Haaland unique auction, right? Uh, Finally went for 86.76 ETH, which works out to about $164,873 euros. So which is roughly about 200,000 Sing. Yes,
Oof.
200,000 Sing, guys. That's a price of a freaking. You can probably get a second-hand Lambo in Singapore, man. With that.
Literally. Oh,
There's a lot of things you can do with 200K. And I can't believe this guy. And if you look at Team Bambi, he has multiple players like that, which is pretty unreal. So yeah, I think the big thing about this was that there was a bit of a battle, between Powell and Team Bambi, which I think was pretty crazy. So man, did you watch this auction live or you just found out about it after?
no, I was watching it live for a bit because
Oh,
there's
nice.
still the live stream about it. So I was doing work. I put it on the side. I was like just listening in. I was like, and just to think of the amount of money just on a card, it's insane. We're thinking about like 200,000 Sing. It's unbelievable on a card. So I was surprised that it got. I thought it would go a bit higher to be honest, but still, tons of money.
Yeah. No, man, I think it's fair. I think it's a fair price for his unique, though. I mean, of course, I mean, some people might not know his previous unique went for $700,000, of which the guy Zima Blue, he's exited Sorare already. He actually sold it for he sold it for a loss of about, I think, 200-300K, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think it's wild. It's very, very wild. But it's really awesome that Powell tried to get him. I think a lot of people were rooting for him, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
Because I
exactly.
think, yeah, because he's a whale, but he's a different kind of whale, right? He's like a whale for
Literally.
the people, man. So as you can see, even from the comments, like Queenie is saying, unlucky, big man was rooting for you there. So, but for me, when you see players like this go for high prices, it gives me a lot of confidence with the platform. This is still a bear market, and cards like this are selling for 200-300 grand. It's really crazy, man. I mean, that shows that people are still playing. There's still people investing in the platform. This is life changing money. Some people don't earn this kind of money in
Exactly.
10 years, man. Let alone, no, just one digital card. It's pretty wild. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Another news that happened, and I can stop stream again, is the double game week, man. Yeah, people with K-League guys like me, oh my god, we got a little bit affected. I think that some of my players got a little bit affected, but I kind of saw it coming because of the not Opta, but the fact that they don't get the scores in time was
Correct.
going to happen. What do you think about the whole double goal?
I think it's a good thing also because there are sometimes, if you think about other leagues, do have a double game week. Like even in the Premier League, it's going to start coming very soon. And now you have a double chance. So if you have a Newcastle fixture where it's a really tough game and a really easy game, you benefit from it because you got that second game and you
Yeah,
could score 100 points there. You're all good there. So I think it's a very good move by Sorare because it's important. And I think I have a few players that might have a double game week. So I'm fully prepped for it now.
nice. As long as they're not from Korea. So
Exactly.
okay, that's good news. I think last but not least, you want to speak a little bit about some things that you like to see improve, within Sorare.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it and I saw it on a few posts on Twitter. It was about having a way of discussing with the person you're trading with. So, like, obviously, you can use Discord. Some people use Discord and other means, but you might not get an answer. And if you're trying to trade, I had a few trades yesterday. I'd rather talk to the person, see how much, if it's because they don't have enough money or something. Like, that's happened for me with Powell. I just didn't have enough money and it would have taken a lot of time to just transfer everything. So I wish they had a medium where you can just talk on Sorare to at least like iron out a few details here and there, so and then make the trade more seamless. That's all I was expecting.
No, I totally agree though. I think communication is there, and I don't think it's that difficult to code also.
Yeah,
But I think maybe what they're afraid of is, it can be used for phishing scams, stuff like that. That could be one of
true.
the considerations. But I think, yeah, man, in-game messaging is going to be really, really useful, especially for traders like us, right? Like we do trade our players. Like I trade my players every week. There's players coming in and out into my gallery. So yeah, I do agree that how communication works. But I've also learned how to communicate through counter offers. So, like for
True.
example, like if certain traders they ask for more money, right? Then if I accept that extra money, sometimes I might not pay. What I do is I find another player in my gallery that fits that value and then send it over if I feel it's fair, right? But usually nowadays, what I've realized, I think the past week or so, a lot of traders are being a bit stingy, right?
Yep.
The deals that they have are just out of this world crazy. Like I'm trying to trade out my Cecina because
Yep.
I have too many high value players. Trying to get some rares in, like I'm trying to get the Luis Suarez rare because I'm at a lack of good forwards.
Yep.
But I tell you, man, it's been so hard to get a good deal for those. So yeah, man, I think it's just a matter of just us, hopefully it happens, but if it doesn't happen, just find unique ways to collaborate and communicate, I guess.
Yeah. Because for me, I was trying to trade off my Inigo Vicente, and it's becoming impossible. And this person is just like, I just need him to give me like just $2 extra. I've bid it twice, three times. I just need that extra $2 for my own sake. But it just at least if I could communicate that with him in a better way, just rather than counter offers, it'd be easier.
For me, I mean, if it's $1-2, I'll just say whatever, man. Fuck it, I'll just take it. I don't care. I'll take the
On
loss
a
anyway.
on a lower gallery, all those $1-2 count. It means one extra player for me.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, so we're done with news. So, bro, let's talk about our scenes of the week. So I'm gonna just go to back to our and then look at your higher ranked players.
Yeah.
Let me just share again. So how do you have any scenes of the week? I'm
Yes,
sure you do.
Godin, 99
Yes.
points, rounded off the 100 points. So I am so happy with that. I
Other
was
than Godin,
expecting
anyone else?
70. Um, Obviously, Kevin Van Veen. I think Kevin Van Veen, I was expecting more goals, but I'm happy with what he got. 80 points, can't really go wrong with that.
That's
Godin's
insane score for a guy that's
monster.
$5, man.
Exactly.
Wow. Does he play every match?
He's been playing quite a bit. So I'm like,
Wow.
exactly.
He's a rare, but the problem is, right, I cannot use him for cap modes.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I've been playing using him in champions and
Yeah,
everything.
because 64 is too high. I cannot play him in any of my cap modes. That's
Correct.
for rare. I need play in 220 and 240. I cannot. That's literally two guys.
Yeah. And look at
That's
his AA
interesting.
21 AA.
Wow, that's interesting,
Um,
man.
so
I
yeah.
might want to just get him just for my Champs America team, man.
Yeah, that's what I did. I saw him. I was like, for the value I'm
Pretty
paying for.
decent, pretty decent run of games also. Not that
Exactly.
difficult.
He's got a two
Interesting.
difficult games in San Lorenzo and Racing Club, but I think the rest are very manageable games for him.
Oh,
He's
this
got a
one,
lot of DNPs. That's the only problem.
yeah, he gets injured quite a bit though.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
With age, I understand it's gonna bound to happen for him. He's 37. He's bound to get
That's true.
injured, but for $5, you can't really go wrong.
That's true. Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
anyone else? Kevin Van Veen, right? So your best players are all oldies but goodies.
Yeah. Old but gold. That's how it
All
is.
but goal, just like me. And
Debatable, debatable.
okay,
Nah,
let me see. So let me see Kevin Van Veen. But Kevin Van Veen, are they when is the league ending for them?
it's ending in one more game, but they have playoffs. So I bought him because he's on the bottom side of the
Understand.
playoffs. So
So
that's
about
why
another
I
four more games, is it?
yeah about 4 or 5 games
Oh
overall.
my God! Look at his 5 matches.
Yes, exactly.
Every goal, every match has been
I
scoring
paid a bit
goals.
higher for him, but I'm not too concerned about him for that because I'm not playing him against Celtic. Celtic is a different monster. I
Yeah.
don't think he's gonna get
And
chances.
his that one is May 31st, man. So he
Yeah,
has a lot of he's still gonna come back next season. And
exactly,
with scoring like this, and if Motherwell should say is also a mid-table team, right? So
exactly.
yeah,
They're just below the mid table, so that's why he's the best of the worst, lah, basically.
okay. I might try his get his rare, man, just for the next 4 games.
Hey guys, look at him. He's taking all the players. All my scouting is, and he's
Ah,
taking
please, man, you do
advantage.
the same as me, man. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay,
Ah,
Chinese league. I hands down will say I
you
copy you because I have no exposure into that. But the
dude,
rest, I think
please admit. Yes, maybe now lately, but
yeah,
historically,
true,
how many players have you?
true, true.
See, some people they learn from the master and then they try to act as if they're the master themselves. Come on, dude.
No, fair
Respect,
enough.
respect, respect.
At the start, 100 like Marino, respect. But no, at the start, 100%. I was looking at you because I had needed someone to guide me on that. So fair enough. But now slowly, I've been becoming
Okay.
better on it.
Aiden Morris, you follow from who?
Someone, someone called this kid is 40. Sounds familiar, right?
ah, Tetsushi Yamakawa, you follow who?
Okay, that one, yes, also. Hatsuse, I bought on my own whim.
But I have to say, well, I bought first, so technically you still follow me, man.
But not because you bought it. That's the only thing. I was like, I knew you bought it, but not
Dude,
because.
I can say the same thing, man. I didn't buy
That's
because
true.
of you. I just so same
Fair
what if I
enough,
bought
fair
it
enough.
first, there's some following going on. So yeah, so
True,
please.
true.
Okay, anyways, so I'll go through mine.
Yeah,
My sins. Then we go through sinners. We do sins when we go sinners.
sure.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Hold on. So for me, I did have some good players. I think the main one, of course, is so Dorami is Sakai. So my Gotoku Sakai said he was in not the most optimal lineup because I had a DNP there, but he did really well. I didn't think I need to go through. So if you look at Sakai, right? So the thing about Sakai, he's not a cheap player. It's about I think now 34, but he is also like Godin, a lot younger than Godin
100%.
and a lot more doesn't get injured as much as Godin.
Don't
As you can
jinx
see.
it. Now don't jinx it. I feel once you say this, something's going to go wrong.
Yeah, so he did. So okay. The funny part was I bought him just before here. There was one time I bought him
Ah,
here, and then he actually didn't play. And I sold him off. Then the next game he scored 2 goals. I'm like, screw it, man. I got to buy him. So
that's
yeah.
the
So the thing about
frustration.
Sakai is that he bombs a lot and he actually attacks a lot also. He's not a cap mode player. He's just purely an all-star player. He's part of my Kobe stack. So definitely this guy. I think the surprise is also another Japanese player. Let me just show you. His name is Rikito Unoi, which I think is a decent player that you might want to kind of look at if you want to follow me.
Hmm.
Powell has tons of him. This
I,
guy. So this guy
oh, he's
is
the center back, isn't he? Yeah.
yeah. So Sangha centre backs are pretty good actually. So Sangha has been playing decently, a lot better than they were last year. If you look at his scores, it's really not that bad. He had a bad game last game, but he had an assist. He had hundreds here. Decent AA, I think majority of the time. If you just look at currently year to date, right? Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. So I think I have him. Oh, I have him rare also. So I have him rare and that one. So for $2, I think it's a pretty
You can't go
decent.
wrong with $2.
Yeah, next match against Sagan Tosu, who I think would be more of a. Both teams have very bad attacks, so this could be a bit of a stalemate. If you look at it, right, the next 3 games are all quite winnable or drawable for them.
Yeah.
Kawasaki is probably in the worst form they've ever had in the history of
Yeah.
the J League. Kashiwa is bottom of the league. Sagan doesn't score goals, so yeah. The only tough one will be then after that. Like the 3 teams after it's quite tough. Marino, Cerezo, and Utsadole.
They get best of both
So
worlds.
yeah. So I think if you guys want him, like play him like till maybe Kawasaki, then sell just after the game week because Marino's one is gonna struggle. He
Sure.
should struggle. So yeah, so that's my sins of the week. So let's go back to your sinners. Your sinners. Who is your sinner, bro?
My sinner is gonna be David Alaba. I brought him in just for my 240, and he didn't play whatsoever.
Let me see. Where is he? Oh my god.
He's at the.
Eh?
He should be. Oh, he's not
Oh,
even there.
sold him already.
Oh, I saw him.
You sold
Yeah,
him.
I saw him. I was really annoyed by him.
Do you sell him at a loss?
I sold him for like a 50-cent loss, which is not too bad.
Hey, where is he? Why,
He's in my
which
240.
240. Where is it?
There, bang in the middle.
Yeah, bang in the middle.
My
Okay, but how much
240
you pay?
was.
How much was him? But
I
they were
think
gonna rotate. What? They had a midweek game. What with Chelsea?
he played the midweek. He played the game before the first leg also. So I
Yeah,
was like,
but this is against Cadiz, man. This is like literally the worst team in the freaking league, right?
that's why I was hoping he'd still play at least
Do you
half.
check? Do you check play shuffle?
Yeah, it said 80%. So I was like, okay,
Oh wow.
80% is pretty high, for this. I was like,
So
that's
this is
killer.
another proof point that play shuffle. Sometimes you got to be a lot. You got to be careful with play shuffle, man.
Correct.
What else? Anyone else other than them?
Literally, you can just take my 240 team. That is,
Huber.
it's just terrible. Even Aaron Long, I thought they weren't going to concede 2 goals, and I thought he was going to do a bit better here. So it was frustrating. This team was terrible. It's just the worst of the worst.
Okay, cool. Okay, for me, mine. Let me go back to my hold on. So mine, I would say the biggest one, and this is a pain for everyone, not just me. To the point where I also sold him, but I sold him for profit, because I bought him at a very very good time. It's none other than Mr. Thiago Almada, a guy that costs at this point of time he is worth. I mean, he's damn expensive. I got him in a trade, so he's worth about 175. I bought him about 150. There, I bought him here. I bought him 136, bro. Look at the profit. Profit.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, so I made about $35, $40 profit on him. And I didn't even play a single. I played one match when he scored 100. Then after I played him in this match and he didn't even freaking start. Hey, wait, sorry, you guys didn't see the. Sorry, let me just show you this there. So there's a profit portion there. So 136, right? There's no sell portion. It was part of a trade that I actually got him off. So yeah, so that's it. So yeah, Thiago Almada is one. Very painful, super painful. The other one would be Kaneko. So I think everyone else, I kind of expected that they won't do well. But Kaneko, if you look at his ability, right? He's been on fire. And I got his rare at a pretty decent price actually, as you can see. So you look at his scores, right? Yeah, this guy was on a good run. 4 games of above 60, 70. Right? And then yeah, even when they considered last time they considered 4 goals. So this team concedes a lot of goals, right? So don't get the goalkeeper. But they can actually. So next match is pretty okay. I think Avispa Yokohama is easy matches. Kashima will be slightly.
They're doing all right. I think
Avispa like it's not one of the. I mean, they are doing okay, but they don't score. They're not one of the like scary teams like
correct.
Like Kobe or Marinos or
Correct.
even Kashima or Urawa. You know what I mean? So yeah. So this was a bit painful. Still debating whether I should play him next match. But I'll probably play him more on the Yokohama match. So
yeah.
So those are my sinners, man. Those are my 2 sinners of the week.
And how ironic both our sinners are in our 240 team. It's just 240 was not it this week.
Exactly. Okay, next one, which is very important, is our 220 this week 15 euro challenge. We'll start with you, man. Just run through quickly, the team that you have.
Okay, so for this, I think I've just gone for cheaper players, and my Juninho, he did well last week, so I'm not really gonna change too much.
Juninho is the player. So just to let everyone know, for our teams, right? We get to choose at least maximum 2 players from the previous game week if we want to. So we don't have to always buy new players. We can bring it as long as they hit the cap of $12, right? Yeah. So the only thing about this team that scares me for you, right, is that it's a 220. You only have 33 for a goalkeeper. Like, what goalkeeper are you getting at with like 33 points?
Benjamin Leroy is still 32. So I've got it just under.
Benjamin Leroy is
my goalkeeper.
League One.
Yeah, League One.
Okay.
I have his comment, so I'm just gonna go stick with that.
Okay, cool. So you got Juninho, and where is he from?
He plays for FC Midtjylland. And
Okay.
he's Brazilian. He played well young, so I could hold him for a bit longer also.
Okay, cool. Second?
Then Ezekiel POV, I think it's just he has a tough matchup because it's against the team just above them. He's in the Peruvian league, so it might be a bit. He's a lot of a AA player, so I'm just going this week. I'm just going for form rather than matchups. So I think he's gonna score a decent amount. He averages about 50, 55. So
So
I'm
POV
stick.
is like a free tip scout favorite, right? I see
Yeah,
he talks a lot about him in his streams.
exactly.
Okay.
Then Daryl Van Meegum, he comes up against the bottom team, so I'm
Yes.
expecting goals, and and
Wait, isn't Volendam in the he's not from Volendam, is it?
he is from Volendam. They're struggling, but not struggling as bad as their opponents. So
Okay.
it's just kind of
Okay. I thought Volendam was bottom the last I checked, no.
I don't know. Now I think they're playing Emmen and the last team right now.
Okay. And this oh Emmons is the last team. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So I'm just going this one. I think he can score a decent amount, and he's been in decent form. 48, not too bad, not too great, but that's what
Okay.
I'm going to go with. And then the
Cool.
last one is Takuji Yonomoto. This one I feel he's so cheap, also at $2.86, and
Mhm.
for cap wise, he's. I think this one is more of a cap thing. I just needed it to be a bit lower and in good form. He has a decent matchup, so I'm honestly just this one is more of hope rather than I think it's gonna do well. And this is the week I think you're gonna beat me.
Nah, man, that's what we say all the time. Nah. Okay, cool. So I'll just go through my team. Let me see. So my team is this. I've not taken any player from my previous previous game week. Actually, I'm actually moving some of those players to actual other teams that I have. So trying out this guy called Yuki Nogami. He was from San Francisco, now playing for what's his name? I can't remember. For which team? I can't remember which team. Okay, another team now. But when he was a San Francisco player, there was a point in time where one of their defenders got injured and he started in and he played very well. He's doing pretty well. Oh, wait, what team? I gotta find. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I find
Now it's
it's
bugging you,
that
isn't it?
it's bugging me. I need to find out where he plays from because I know that I did talk about a bit of like his
His team.
he's playing for Nagoya
Yeah.
and Nagoya is doing well. Nagoya is doing very well right now.
Even
So
my Takumi is also Nagoya, so we're kind of
yeah.
leveraged.
So the thing about Nagoya is that he's a very consistent scorer, right?
Yep.
He technically is his SO5 is 41, but
Yep.
I think almost the last 10 games he's been doing more than 50. So that's what I'm hoping from him. I don't expect him to score goals or anything. I just want him to get that 50, right? Where I'm actually banking for like big scores are basically Jason Holt and Joe Noble. They are going against one of the bottom teams in the Scottish Premiership. And Joe Noble does get goals against bottom teams. So I'm hoping for that. And then last but not least, Daihachi Okomura. This guy plays for Gonzalez. Even with that 4-2 loss or some shit, he actually had like insane AA. So this is a very strong AA player. And they're going up against a decent team in like a team that I feel they can beat.
Yep.
So yeah. And as you can see, I also managed to my remaining points was 38. So I think I'm gonna do Bowman. There's a plan.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That it works.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's about it, man. That's my U20. So we'll see who wins. Hopefully it's
Wait.
my
May the
turn.
best man win this time.
I made the best man. So what you trying to say? The past few times is not the best man who won, right?
It's the smarter man. It's the smarter man that won.
Yeah, lah, smarter in 220. That's basically it. Lah.
It's a backhanded
Okay.
compliment.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit of your upcoming game week, dude. Like, what are you excited for? I'll stop the presenting. Just talk to us, man. Like, what you're looking forward to, and who are some new players that you have that you're bringing in. That you brought
So
in.
currently, I'm rather scouting. I haven't brought in too many players. I brought in one player, Javier Cabrera. I think we've talked about him before. He's an AA monster. Doesn't need to score, and he
Yep.
scores 55, 60 points. So he's one I already brought in this week. And I think this one I will be honest. I'm looking at your gallery because Chinese league and Brazilian league. I am slowly getting up to date with it. So
Mm.
I have to look at you for a bit of guidance here. So I think that's where I'm going to strengthen in because they just started. That's why I need my more players in. All the European leagues ending, I need to move them out. And so
Cool.
there we go.
So for me, yeah, man, I think I'm like almost 85% America and Asia already in my that one, which I'm pretty happy about. The only time I use like Euro players are just doing my Cap 220 competitions that I have with you, and my Newcastle players, which I will never ever sell in my life. But everyone else, like, so I did bring in one huge um, uh, European player in Victor Osimhen. I'm
Oh,
hoping I'm hoping to sell him. I got a really good price. Thanks, Dylan. Because I think bought him at 0.0755. Um, his floor is already at 0.9, 0.09. So I already made money on him. So I probably definitely sell him.
yeah,
I have brought in some big players, that big scorers I find. So one is Mohamed Darami, who
mm,
plays for the Norwegian league. He actually has utility throughout the summer.
yeah.
I brought in Hawk from the Brazilian league, who's historically been a very good scorer also within the American
S-
league.
yeah.
I bought a lot of Chinese league players. So I bought Wule, I bought Richard Willjeba, I bought Arjun Ademi. All these are just new transfers
Ademi,
or
good one.
players that, yeah. Yeah, but Ademi is okay. There is, I got to talk to you about Ademi. One of the issues is Ademi plays as a striker. He's actually a CDM, but
Yeah,
for some reason he's playing a striker. Last match his AA was pretty shit. He was lucky because he won the penalty.
yeah,
So yeah, got to be careful about that. Uh,
right.
I think I bought a lot of good MLS midfielders. I bought Carlos Gil, I
Yeah,
bought Hector Herrera. Really kind of strengthening my all star
yeah,
options also. And then for defenders, I think defenders the only big ones are the ones that I kind of followed you. So Leandro Gonzalez Perez
yeah.
and Palacios, man. Oh my god, let's talk about Palacios, man.
Uh,
Palacios
Let's go.
conceded like freaking 2 goals and at AA or like 30, man. That's like insane. He had a yellow card, so which means he was -3 and -8, so -11, and he still managed to score like 67 points. So which means without
Unbelievable.
those, that is insane. That's like and he does it every match. It's just an insane AA monster. So very excited to have him on my under 23 ranks. And I don't know. I feel very happy with my current that one. And I think what I've been doing a lot is that whenever a player doesn't do well, right, I'm quickly letting them go. Right. I because whenever I buy usually early in the week, so I don't usually buy at the high point. So usually I'm always making players that I feel that cannot play anymore. I usually either lose a little bit or and what I do is I'll scout for players I feel that will do well in the future. So that has actually really worked well for me. So I'm very excited. I hope I missed threshold this week, so I'm hoping that I had threshold this week. I did strengthen a little bit on my rare team. I have now what's that guy that you had that I followed you? What's his
Which one?
name?
Gonzalez Perez.
Yeah, Gonzalez, the striker.
Uh,
So
Rojas
no,
Cabrera.
I have Herrera. I have Herrera. Herrera is a
Oh,
new one.
Emmanuel Herrera. Got
I
it.
have Emmanuel Herrero. I brought in this guy called Tassiano from the Brazilian league
Yeah.
and Marlon from the Brazilian league. So yeah, pretty happy with my team, my gallery so far. It's actually increased in value.
Yeah.
I'm currently at roughly about 3 grand. I'm gonna pump in a little bit more to push it to maybe 5 or 6 grand by the end of the week, by the end of this month, and then we'll see. Then I'll probably go bigger into rare. Probably buy another goalkeeper and then start playing rare a little bit more. Complete all the all-star modes. Yeah, for rare.
And
All the cap modes for rare.
you were talking just now about buying them early in the week. So for our viewers who are maybe
Yes.
just buying, what which days do you think? Okay, which days or when do you think is the best time to buy players?
So I try to not buy on Friday.
Yeah,
Like Friday, I find is okay. So for me, Monday, Tuesday is the buy time for the weekend players, right?
got it.
And then the sell time is actually Thursday, Friday, usually Friday. On Friday itself, I get a lot of offers. I mean, because my gallery also, especially when it comes to limited, I have a lot of high value players. You'll be very surprised that I get a lot of offers. Like I got a couple of Aiden Morris offers. I got a couple of that one. Whenever like people just trying their luck, and it's easier to sell on
Yeah,
Friday, especially if the player has a game week or a good fixture coming up. So try to keep up to date with that.
yeah,
So, for example, like this week, I can't sell any of my Visa Kobe stack
yeah,
because they're playing against Marinos,
yeah.
right? Which is going to be a tough match for them. So,
Correct.
Marinos are the defending champions. So, you're going to see that. So, like, for example, I think there was 1 week when menu players, there was 1 week against Nottingham Forest? There was one player on the buy, it was too expensive because they were going up against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
And so, you got to look at matchups, right? So, what I try to do when I have those matches, I buy early. Like, I can even buy a week in advance sometimes to actually play the week. So, always do your scouting early. Try to understand. Like for me, find out who the worst teams are in that league, and then identify when they play against the better teams, and then plan like a few weeks in advance, right? You can definitely sell for premium, just easy trading like that, if you ask me.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I learned from him. I'll be honest, I learned that from him. Just scout a week earlier because you'll get it at a cheaper price rather than buying
Yeah.
it 2 days in advance.
Agreed. So, okay, so we are at the end of our episode. We are a little bit early today, but it's okay, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I think what's important is that we've managed to cover all the things. So, Adit, man, what are you excited for this week outside of Sorare, man? Like, are you gonna finally meet your girlfriend?
I cannot say on stream, guys. Sorry, I can't.
Your imaginary girlfriend.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just jokes, guys. Anyways, yeah, Adit's a player, boys. So you gotta be careful.
Football player.
Okay, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for joining in, for listening in. Please, share our video, comment on our video. We'll be happy to kind of chat with you guys. Anything that you want, we love to hear from you guys, and follow our Twitter and our TikTok. And yeah, man, have a good weekend ahead. I hope everyone wins the reward.
Thank you, guys. Peace out.
Peace.